Hello everyone. Let's see. Hopefully my title comes up today. I'm coming with a prophetic word today. Let me see if my title, because last time my title did not pop up. It was just blank. So let's see if my title pop up. As you guys come on, or if you're watching a replay, just write hashtag replay in the comments. If you guys are watching right now, let me know. Okay. Title is there. So I'm coming on with the prophetic word because I put a post up today. I put a status up today. And I'm coming with some background on the status that I put up today on my Facebook page. Like I said, as you guys come on, just let me know where you guys are from and who's on right now. Because I know I posted the status, but I always like to put the status up first and then come back and give more insight or revelation on what the Lord speaks and says to me in those status. Because if you see me write it as a status, more than likely there's more to it. And then the prophetic words that I give are the additional information to the status. So today's status that I put up, I said that the Lord said, what it was. It says, God says, instead of just praying for an increase in finances, pray for an increase in wisdom, insight, knowledge, favor, and power in this hour. So this is a status that I put up this morning. And this is what I heard the Lord say. I actually heard this maybe Sunday. And then I saw a vision. And typically the way that the Lord uses me is that if it's a vision, then it's a prophetic word. If it's just in my mind, it's a teaching. It's something that we've been doing for some time. So I know that if it's a vision, it's a prophetic word. Just to introduce myself, my name is Johanna, Apostolic Prophetic Midwife. Mentor, teacher, entrepreneur. God uses me in a lot of different ways. And today, here on Facebook, I feel like I need to explain this to a lot of people who have been with me, or if you watch me, or if you see me on different platforms. Here on Facebook is more prophetic. It's more prophetic word. Hey, Yvonne. I feel like I need to explain this, and I need to explain it in this season because I know for a lot of people, God is about to use you. He's shifting you, and the Lord said, I am adjusting you in this season. And I feel as if I need to explain the way that God uses me. So here on Facebook, it's more prophetic. It's what God says. It's encouragement, prophetic encouragement, things like that. That's how he uses me here on Facebook. But if you guys follow me on Clubhouse, Clubhouse is more equipping people. We also have a new Facebook group. Click the link there because there's a Facebook group where he's using me to teach people biblical teachings, just being able to read the word. I see it in a different way. And so there's a lot. God is shifting us. I know he's shifting me, but he's shifting a lot of people in this season. So I know I heard the Lord say, I am about to, the people who are hungry. That's what I heard him say. It feels like a big adjustment. Yes, this is the word that I heard the Lord say. He said, I am adjusting people because we went from being repositioned, like he was moving things around, moving people around. But in this season, there's an adjustment, just small little things that he's doing, shifts that he's making. But a lot of people, I heard the Lord say that I am going to elevate the hungry. The people who are hungry for him, who are going after him, who are seeking him. And this is why this title on this, all of it is connected to prayer. All of it is connected to seeking him, going deeper in him, praying into all these areas that we talk about. So it is a big adjustment. And this is, for those who have ears, this is where we are in this season, and this is where he's moving us. But a lot of people, he showed me that a lot of people have been praying about finances. A lot of people have been praying into that next level. A lot of people have been praying into this next season and what's to come. But this is a key. And I'm already seeing it happen in my life. This is a major key that I don't know a lot of people don't know. But if you watch this replay, like this is what the Lord began to tell me. So that's what I do. This is how he uses me in different ways. This is what we're doing here. So I just want people to know that if you see me on different platforms here, it's a prophetic word. And this is what he's speaking in this season. So let me pray. So Father God, I come to you. I pray that you begin to send the people who need to hear, who need this key, who need this strategy. These keys to the kingdom is what I know that you use me for. That you typically will have me go through something to come back out and give your people the key to the kingdom to get to where they're trying to go. And I pray right now that every single person who needs to hear it is led to today's word. The people, whether I put it on YouTube, Facebook, wherever it is, that they are led to understand this major key. That as they begin to step into this place where you are trying to take them, that they understand that there is so much more that's needed when it comes to this wealth transfer, when it comes to stewarding what you have given them well. There is more. And there are more things that we need. So I just pray, Lord, that as I begin to break this down and lead and guide people into where you're taking us in this upcoming season, that is exactly what people need to see the breakthrough happen in their life. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right. So the other day, probably on Sunday, I was at home and then I was praying. I came out of prayer and I saw a tap come on. And as I began to sit down and pray, I was like, okay, Lord, what is this? So I saw this tap come on, like a water tap. You know, you turn the faucet and turn the tap on. And the Lord began to tell me, He said to start to pray. He started to give me instructions. The Holy Spirit began to give me instructions on what we need to pray for in this season. And I heard Him say, start to pray that gifts are increased. So a lot of you may be in a place where maybe you have the gift of prophecy, the words of knowledge, words of wisdom. Start to pray that your gifts are increased. This is where He started to talk about the people who are hungry. That the ones who are hungry and going after Him and in His presence to be able to pray is you're going to see elevation. So He started to say, tell my people to pray for an increase in their gifts and their talents. So I'm seeing the tap and the water starts to increase even more. But then He started to tell me that a lot of people are in a place where we talk about the wealth transfer and what's going on. And then He began to say that when it comes to finances, when it comes to wealth, a lot of people, it's not just about praying and asking for finances. It's not just asking, Lord, can you just bless me? What people have to understand, He said, instead of just, this is verbatim, instead of just asking me for increase in your finances, ask me to increase your influence, increase your authority, increase your wisdom, increase your knowledge, increase your gifts. Because when you start to pray into these areas, the Bible tells us God gives us the ability and the strength and power to create wealth. So just if you look at it this way, if you have more power, if you have more influence, if you have more authority, then that means that means more people are going to be drawn to God through you. That God is using you in a different way that people have probably never even seen before. Because now you're not just praying for finances. You're praying, Lord, I just come to you. I pray that you increase my power in this season. I pray that you increase my authority in this season. That people, the mic on my mouth is turned up, so that more people hear you when I speak. That's what it means. That's what a lot of people are missing in this season. A lot of people are so focused on this wealth transfer, and God is like, no. What if I can just increase your value and more people hear you? What if I can just shift the way that you speak, the way that people hear you, whatever it is? What if I can increase your gifting, and that is what's going to have everything flowing to you? So influence is a big area that a lot of people should pray for, especially if you have a ministry. If you have a ministry, if you have a business, you should be praying for influence. Because if you have influence, and that means when people hear you, they want to, the same way that when we look in the Word, and we see Jesus, he's moving through the streets. That was influence that Jesus had. That was authority. Even in the Word, it says, who is this man? He teaches with such authority. Jesus had authority. People followed him. The crowd followed him because he had influence. It wasn't about the wealth and the money. No. Just imagine, Jesus had all these people following him. And let's say Jesus had a ministry and a business. I don't know. You mean to tell me that he had all these people following him, that people would not invest in whatever Jesus had? Think about it. So sometimes the church and people, we need finances to advance the kingdom. But the finances are going to flow through that authority, through the power, and through the influence that we have. So the Lord began to tell me, this is what people should pray for. This is what I need my people to pray for. And I had someone give me a prophetic word the other day. Said, there is going to be such an abundance of souls that it is going to find you. They said, they literally told me, God is adjusting you right now, and he needs you to update some things on the background, because there's such a harvest of souls that are waiting for you. And this may be the same thing for you. There may be a harvest of souls that are waiting for you. Maybe you just need to pray that God increases, that the Lord increases your influence. That the souls that need you, you have the influence to influence them. That when you open your mouth, they're following God, but they're following you because God is using you as a vessel. So for many of us, especially if you even business, I'm not even just talking about ministry, business, we got to start thinking bigger. We got to start thinking the way that the way that the Lord wants to use us. And I think that sometimes, and I know sometimes we're in a season of lack. And when you're in that season of lack, it's like, how am I going to get out of this place? How am I going to get out of this space? But it's really just like, God just has you there. It's the wilderness. You're just in the wilderness, and it should be temporary. You don't want to cry and whine in the wilderness. Don't stay there. You want to get to a place where you start to dust yourself off, and you're like, okay, I know God has me here, but I'm not going to stay here in this wilderness. Let me dust myself off. Let me continue to pray. Let me pray that he increases my influence. Let me pray that he increases my power. Let me pray if you need strength. Some people in the wilderness, you're probably tired. You're drained in the wilderness, right? You're exhausted in the wilderness. Think about it. You traveling, you moving, you've been through so much. Lord, I need you to increase my strength so that I can go out. So he said those three go together. Power, influence, and authority are the things that we need to be praying in this season. Because I saw that tap come on. And I'm telling you, for anyone who just came on, the vision that is coming from all of this is that I began to ask the Lord to begin to increase my gifts. But he said it's not just gifts. And I saw the tap begin to turn on even more. So going into wisdom. Now, the way he told me to break this down, because I feel like a lot of people, we say these things, but do we really know what it means? And he told me to talk about it. But the one that is the most important in this season, please hear me, because this is where I've been. Favor. Pray for favor. If you're in a stuck place right now, before you make a phone call to do whatever you need to do, sit there and say, Lord, give me favor with these people. Before you do anything, pray for favor. You guys, I have literally been moving through life, everything that I need to do, and I'll sit there before I do something, and I'm like, Lord, I pray that you give me favor. Y'all, I can write a book on what has been happening because I've been praying for favor. I'm not praying for, finances are going to come and it's flowing. But at the end of the day, when you pray for favor, let me get the definition of favor. Increase my influence or power and extreme favor. Listen, I'm telling you guys, these are keys. Pray for favor, because it's been about 2 weeks now since I've been praying for favor. Every single place I go, I will pray for favor, and people will just do things. People will just move things around. Things are happening so quick. We talk about Amos 9. Things will happen one thing after another. Your head will spin. Listen, I don't even have Amos 9 ready, set, go. But I feel led that I need to read Amos 9, because all of these things that we have been hearing, the acceleration, the next level, all of these things, it is happening. Don't think that because you haven't seen it yet, it's not happening. God may still be working on things behind the scenes. He may still be developing things behind the scene in your life. But I'm telling you, when you start to pray strategically, and maybe that's what it is. I keep saying that I need to write a book on strategic prayer. But this is a way to pray with God. Sometimes we just pray our needs, our wants. But sometimes you got to go to God and say, Lord, what is it? What should I be praying with you? What is it that we should be praying together to see things begin to flow, bring heaven to earth? And when you start to pray with God, that's when things start to shift. No longer are you just praying, which, you have your desires and everything. But ask him, what is it that we need to pray together on? And I feel like this came out of that, where it's partnering with God in prayer to pray not just your will and what you want, but Lord, what is it that we need to pray together? So I'm going to read favor. Definition of favor. Approval, support, or liking for someone or something. And this is all it really is. When they say favor ain't fair, approval, support, or liking. You don't know why this person said yes. You don't know why that application went through. You have no idea why you went to the store and it was completely closed and no one else could get in, but they let you in. Pray for a favor. Start to pray for favor. You're going to see God really he's going to start to step in. He's going to start to shift things. He's going to start to change things. Favor. A liking for someone or something. And I'm even hearing him say favor is connected to influence. Even when you have favor and influence is connected. So the next one, we get the definition. Knowledge, facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education. For some people, the reason you can't get out of the place that you feel stuck in is because you don't have the knowledge. So when you pray for the knowledge, the Lord will lead you to a person. He will lead you to a book. He will lead you to a YouTube video. He will lead you to whatever it is that you need to get unstuck. So let's say you're in a place financially, physically, in your ministry, in your business, where you're just I don't know what to do. When you begin to pray for knowledge, you're opening up the door and allowing him to come in and give you what you need to get from out of that stuck place. So I don't know where a lot of people are, but a lot of, this is, again, strategic prayer. You're in a place right now where you don't know how to get out of it. You don't know what to do next. You don't know. So you need knowledge. You need him to begin to give you knowledge in this area. You need to begin to allow him to show you where to go, what to do. practical understanding of a subject. So now we talked about favor, we talked about wisdom, we talked about knowledge, insight, the capacity to gain an accurate and deep intuitive understanding of a person or a thing. Hey Renee, how's it going? Insight is a big one. You may have a situation that you're in. You're in a situation in your life right now, and you don't know. You're not sure which route should I take. What should I do? Where should I go? What comes next? Insight. Lord, I need you to give me insight into the situation that I'm in. Insight. Let's read it again. The capacity to gain an accurate and deep intuitive understanding of a thing. So because you may not know what to do, now you have knowledge and now you have insight. Now you know, now the Lord is beginning to give you a full picture of this situation. Hey Amber, we breaking down right now, for those who are coming on right now, we're breaking down this word in different things that we should be praying for. Like, this is strategic prayer and these are the keys. I have been doing this for about 2 weeks, y'all. I cannot explain to you how things have been shifting, how things have been changing. It is blowing my mind. It is really blowing my mind. And for me, I don't want to be a person who just my whole life is just going and I'm not helping people. No, this is me telling you guys, this is the way that you want to pray, because then it's like you are inviting the Lord into everything. He's invited, look at all the areas that he's invited into. We talked about power, we talked about influence, we talked about authority, we talked about favor. Put that at the top of the list, please. Pray for that favor, because I can't make it up with favor. The favor right now is just mind blowing. So start to pray for favor today. And we're talking about insight. So as you can see that it's just, if you were to pray for this in any situation that you feel stuck, write this down and put this on a sticky note. Whenever you feel stuck, start to pray into this. Start to ask him for in these areas, because this is what's going to get you unstuck. I see Latoya. Hey, Latoya, how's it going? What's next? The next one is wisdom. And this is the definition that he told me to use: wisdom. The ability to use your knowledge and experience to make good decisions and judgments. Am I supposed to leave my job? Lord, I pray that you begin to give me the wisdom that I need to make a sound decision, to make a good decision. Is this where you're leading me? Is this the right season? Okay, now you told me to leave my job, Lord. You told me to start a ministry. Lord, I ask that you begin to give me the knowledge that I need to start this ministry. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what a ministry is. Can you give me the knowledge to start this up? You see what I'm saying? So all of it just ties in together. And when you start to get into the habit of praying these prayers, and I know in this season, a lot of people are waiting on God. A lot of people, it's just, I keep hearing this wealth transfer all around me. And I know it's going to happen. But I feel as if a lot of people have not been moving and doing, because when we talk about the wealth transfer, I was like this at one point. I thought the wealth transfer was just going to be like this big boom at one time. And the Lord is showing me it can happen, and that may be for some people, but it has been trickles, for me at least. It's been like trickle coming in, but it's connected to the work. And I'm going to say this until the day that I pass away. This wealth transfer is connected to the work, because at the end of the day, there's work that God has given all of us. We need to work. We have work to do. The things that he told you to do, that's what's connected to it. Your wealth is connected to that. It doesn't say that God will supernaturally, he will supernaturally transfer it. But it says he gives us the ability to create wealth. And that idea that he gave you, that business that he gave you, the ministry that's the door to get people into whatever he gave you, is the ability to create it. This is why he takes us out of our jobs and all these places that he's called us to give us the ability to create our own wealth, to live a life of freedom, to be able to spend time with our children, our family. Because that's the life that he wants us to live. It's a life of freedom. Wisdom, to make sound decisions. Now, I'm going to read this because he told me to go into scripture. And this one may not be as long today. I'm just giving I'm giving what he told me to say. And I got to pick my son up too. I'm going to read this because this is the idea. We always want to go in the word and see what the word says about the situation. Hey, Stephanie and Lucrece, how you guys doing? You might want to go back because I broke it down from the status that I put up today. But we all know about Solomon. We read it before. And I'm going to take out the main part. You go to 1 Kings 3:7 through 13. Okay, we read about Solomon, but the idea that I'm trying to explain to people, it isn't Solomon. So Lord God, I'm your servant and you've made me king in my father's place. But I'm very young and know so little about being a leader. The same way that we say, Lord, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I feel stuck. I feel confused. I feel lost. Lord, I'm coming to you because I don't know what to do. And now I must rule your chosen people. Now you told me to start the ministry. Now you told me to start the business. Now you told me to leave my job. Now you told me to do these things. But I don't know what to do. Anytime you get to a place where you don't know what to do, these are the things you want to pray. Don't just pray and say, Lord, I just need you to... No, get specific. Get strategic. Because I'm telling you, strategic prayer is what really has changed my life. Because when I ask the Lord to show me what to pray, it's always in this. And everything flows through this. And now I must rule your chosen people. Even though there are too many of them to count. You feel overwhelmed. You feel like there's no way I can do this. But what did he do? What did Solomon do? He said, please make me wise and teach me the difference between right and wrong. Again, we know this. But he didn't ask for... He could have asked for money and he could have asked for wealth and he could have said, I can't keep up with this. I need more money because I need to hire more people. I need more help. I need this. I need that. No, he didn't say that. He said, please make me wise and teach me the difference between right and wrong. We talked about praying for wisdom. All these things that we talked about, this is exactly what Solomon did. He said, look, I don't know what to do. Make me wise. Show me what I'm supposed to do. Show me what steps to take. Show me what I need to do. He didn't say, give me increase in finances. He said, give me wisdom because then I know what to do. And even when it comes to wealth and finances, what the Lord has really been teaching me, and let me say this, for those of you who the Lord has you in a season of lack, let me tell you, I came out of a season of lack. Listen, I bet you I'm not messing up my money again. Okay? I learned my lesson. The Lord look, the past year and a half, about a year and a half, when he told me to leave my job, I guarantee you, the season of lack that God puts us in, where you're in that season, he tells you to leave your job or whatever, and you're in a season of lack where the money is not flowing or whatever the situation is, I'm on the other side, and let me tell you, I promise you, I am stewarding everything, writing everything down. What did I spend today? What did I spend? This is why many people, you have to go through a season of lack. Because before it, you don't know, like, you probably haven't had it, but it's not in the level where it's like God takes you through that season of lack where he strips everything away. And I don't know how many people are there right now. Let me know. Sometimes I talk about a season and I'm like, I don't know if people have been through it yet, but let me know if you're watching, if you're in that season or been in that season. Thank you for commenting. No problem, Andrea, and I see Patwan too. But God puts us in that season of lack. He puts you in that season of where you don't know what to do next. Like, he puts you in it because when he sends the increase, when he sends the wealth, when the wealth transfer comes, when the abundance, the Amos 9, so much is happening, your head will spin. When that happens, trust me, you're not going to mess it up. You learned your lesson, you know. Like, I'm going to make sure I steward this well. And if you don't know, I don't know about you. You didn't take that season serious. You didn't take that season serious. Because, listen. Oh, okay. She said I'm in it. I'm in transition now. Okay. Mark my words. Listen. As you begin to step into that place, it is not because God has forgotten about you. It is not because, he wants you to suffer. Please, you guys, no. It's just like the children of Israel when they went into the wilderness and all they had was manna. And it's like back in Egypt, we had it's this journey and this walk. And the Bible says, can't you see I'm doing a new thing? This new thing, this new walk, we talk about the rising remnant. I keep bringing them up lately. Many people say, I'm part of the rising remnant. Then this is the journey that we go through. This is the preparation that we go through. This is the testing that we go through. This is the putting the badges on. You know how you go to the army and the people and the soldiers get all those little badges on them? This is the part of you getting your little badges that say, I went through this process. God trained me and prepared me for this. So for those of you who are not there just yet, listen, it's okay. If God takes you into that, which if you are called, chosen, anointed, appointed, more than likely he's going to put you through it. Because you also, especially if you call to finances and wealth, listen, especially if you call to finances and wealth, there is no way God's going to have you a kingdom financer and you don't go through a season of lack. How can you understand what someone who is struggling with lack and you're supposed to go out and pour and help people? You can't understand what that person's going through if you've never gone through it. This is another reason where how many people has God spoken to you that you're a kingdom financer? that you are going to help people pour into ministries and pour into businesses and give back. I know what the Lord has been speaking to me. He says, you're going to go back and you're going to help single moms who are needing to build their ministry and their businesses, and they have a child or children and everything. He said, you're going to go back and you're going to help them. Kingdom financer. Through the fire. Look, there is no way you're going to be able to understand what people are going through. As a kingdom financer, if God doesn't put you through that season of lack, it is, I'm going to say, necessary. It is necessary because you get it. And then it teaches you how to steward that wealth well. I'm speaking personally for me. After coming out of it, I am so on point with finances and wealth. I'm not messing up. Like, I'm not playing games. So I just want people to understand that when it comes to being a kingdom financer, be okay. Like, if you're not there yet, if you get to that place, God is just preparing. You just have to tell yourself, this is just preparation. Because there's so much more on the other side. Even when it comes to being in the wilderness, you have to come out. I mean, you could stay there, but at some point you're going to come out. So that's where God has us right now. I've learned a lot. Hey, Faith, how's it going? I see Rain. Hey, Rain. Oh, hold on. Some people came in. I just want to say hi. I see Rain, Luana. Oh, hey, Tay. My resident said hi. Look, I usually come on at like 2. I saw you ask what time. I'm going to get a set time, y'all. I'm going to say 2 o'clock, Wednesday at 2. I don't know why. Usually I'm in prayer beforehand, so it kind of gets me thrown off. But my goal is every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Next week's word is there's preparation before acceleration. And I saw some NASCAR cars going around, so that's next week's word. So Wednesday at 2 is the goal. I've learned a lot. So yeah, when you go through that season of lack that God puts us in, you're called to be a kingdom financer and all these things, like, trust me, it's necessary. You are learning to steward it. You're going to steward that wealth well. You are not going to fumble it. You are not going, like, God knows that he can trust you because he's like, I know that this person understands now. They get wealth now. They understand what it means. God is saying to me, doing a new, look, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't gone through it, please do not go back to Egypt. Keep pushing. Keep going. I mean, I told this story the other day on Clubhouse where I was just like, at some point I'm like, Lord, I'm just going to go back to work and go back to another job. I couldn't get a job to save my life. And God knew it. So just keep pushing because it's just teaching you to steward it well. When let's say God begins to, the wealth transfer starts to happen and you start to have these supernatural transfers and all of these things, your business starts to boom and you get the increase in the influence and people are drawn to God through you. Now you're in a place where it's like, okay, I know what to do. Let's go back to him. He says, please make me wise and teach me the difference between right and wrong. Then I will know how to rule your people. If you don't, there is no way I can rule this great nation of yours. So start to see your ministry, your business, this thing that God has given you. Like, this is your little kingdom. Like, this is your little kingdom that God has given you. Your little space, your little territory, your land that he's given you, your ministry, your business. And you are the leader. Just like with Solomon, like, you are the person who he has placed in that position. You have people who are called to you, assigned to you, who you're supposed to help and lead and guide. You know, when you do your lives and everything. So even before, it's like, I'm starting this out. And so having the knowledge and the wisdom on how to help people, that's when he starts to download it to you. So that's the way that I saw it moves forward. Exactly. This makes sense. I had to learn better stewardship because I was too giving without consulting God. And listen, the reason we go through so much of this, where you go through the seasons of lack and you go through the seasons, God is just teaching you how to depend on him. I do not make any moves without him. I literally sit all day like, what are we going to do? What should I do here? I tell people all the time, I probably look insane. I mean, it's constant. I am constantly in communication with him. And it's not that I wasn't before, but it's like a new level now. And I feel like Siobhan said, without consulting him, after you go through all of this, you go through this journey, this walk, you built the ministry, the business, you've been through the fire, you've been tested, the lack, and now he starts to say, okay, now you're stepping into the promised land, because that's what it is. We read about the promised land, but I want people to understand that there's Egypt, there's the wilderness, and there's the promised land. And there's that process of walking through the promised land walking through the wilderness to get to the promised land. So the other side is the promised land, the place of rest, the place of peace. You might be all tired and drained in the wilderness, but you're going to eventually get to the promised land if you keep moving. Like Yvonne said, if you keep moving forward, you're going to get there. It's a process. He is processing you. He is preparing you. And I will say this constantly. The higher the calling, the higher the processing. The higher the calling, the higher the processing. You in the fivefold. You're a prophet. You're an apostle. You teacher. You do all these things. The higher the processing. You're probably going to go through way more. You're probably going to be tested more. You're probably going to be in the fire and you're going to be burning up everything around you. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. The higher the calling, the higher the processing. And so I think that knowing this ahead of time is like, I wish someone told me all of these things. I didn't know. I mean, I just said yes. And then he was like, okay, now you're about to start Journey to the Kingdom. Little did I know, I was going to be the person that had to go through the journey to come back and tell people what we're going through. But I never gave up. I kept going. So we're going back to Solomon. He says, God says, Solomon, I'm pleased that you asked for this. I'm glad you asked for wisdom instead of finances. I'm glad you didn't just come and say, Lord, send down the wealth transfer immediately without asking, can you give me the wisdom on how to steward the wealth? Because that's what we really need to ask, is for the wisdom to steward it. How do I steward this? How do I take care of this? How do you want me to operate? How do you want me to function? What do you want me to do? So he says, I'm pleased you asked for this. You could have asked to live a long time or to be rich. Or you could have asked for your enemies to be destroyed. Instead, you asked for wisdom to make right decisions. So I'll make you wiser than anyone who has ever lived or ever will live. So because he asked for wisdom, I'm going to make you the wisest man. I'm going to make you wiser than anyone. What if you said, Lord, I pray that you make me the most influential person there is? Because that's what I want. I pray for influence. For me, it's influence. I want to be able to, that God uses me as a vessel that helps lead people, that people see me and it's just like, it's something different about this girl. How did you get there? How did God move like this in your life? What did you do? Oh, let me tell you. Influence is my, like, favor and influence are my two things that I pray for. But we see with him, it was wisdom to make right decisions. So he made him the wisest. I'll also give you what you didn't ask for. You'll be rich and respected as long as you live, and you'll be greater than any other king. He didn't even ask for that. He just asked for wisdom. And what did God do? Gave him wealth. So the thing that you are praying for, what if you pray for something else? What if you pray for authority? What if you pray for power? What if you pray for knowledge? And then God says, okay, now this is instilled in them. Now they have the wisdom that they need. Now they know how to steward it well because they prayed for wisdom. They prayed for insight. They prayed for knowledge. So you know what? Let me just give them wealth now. That's basically what he did with Solomon. Why wouldn't he do it for you? Why wouldn't he do it for us? It's in the word. What if you start to pray these prayers? And then everything else just flows from it. Because this is what I'm seeing. I'm just giving you guys the keys. Like, this is my job now. The Lord, he's been telling me, like, you've been through it. You've been through the process. Now go give keys. Go get the keys out. And for those, I put the link up here if you guys didn't check it. I'm actually going to start to do monthly, like, biblical teachings, kind of like this, where we take the word and break it down and give out keys, I guess. I guess he wants me to give out keys in these Facebook groups. So I put the link up. You guys can click the link there. So I guess I'm giving out keys in these Facebook groups. There's two different things. And one Facebook group is for people reaching destiny. So my job, like I always say, my job in the kingdom is to help people reach destiny. And when it comes to reaching destiny, it's the journey, it's the walk, is what we need to do. So the Journey to the Kingdom Facebook group is to help people reach destiny without delay. The Kingdom Vision Builders Facebook group is going to be more business, like biblical business principles that he's going to have me teach there. Again, it's free. It's the word. So I'm just teaching biblical teachings, but it's the keys. So this is like a mix of a teaching and a prophetic word at the same time. But it's going to be biblical teaching over there in the Facebook group. He told me to start out once a month. And so, yeah, that's where he has me now, where it's really just like the keys, what we need to do, where we're going. So click the link tree. You can scroll to the bottom and then you'll see the two different groups. So wherever you are, if you want to grow more in biblical business principles, you can do the Kingdom Vision Builders. If you want to grow more in reaching destiny, because the promised land, that land flowing with milk and honey, destiny is, I mean, for me, that's where are we going, Lord? That's reaching destiny. It's the plan. So destiny is the plans that God has already had planned for you. What are the plans? So these ideas, these downloads, these things that he's giving you, those are the plans. Before I know the plans, that's destiny. The plans that he has for you is destiny, and that's the goal of reaching destiny. So yeah, I'm going to start doing those in April. I put the link there, so get into the Facebook groups, because I believe he's going to have me do it the 2nd and the 4th week, where we just throwing keys out like this, you guys. Whatever he leads me to do is what I'm going to do. The Lord just told me to get a key 2 days ago. Look, Vanessa, I don't even think we've met. I think maybe you followed me from a reel, if I had to guess. So yeah, get into the group. We also tonight I'm also doing a teaching on in one of the Facebook groups. Consistency equals success. So I just have to put out a lot of content. It's just so much that's inside of me, and I need to get it out of me and put out a whole bunch of content right now. So that's what God has me doing, is really producing, so that he can give me more. Because if I keep it in me, this is how it is. When God starts to have you start a ministry or a business, he needs you to pour it out. You gotta, in order to receive. If I had a bottle, and this is full to the top. Now let's say God has been filling me up with revelation, insight, knowledge, wisdom, all of this, and I never pour this stuff out, I'm not going to be able to receive more, because I'm too full. And it's not until we start to pour it, for those of you who, you know, your minister or your leader or whatever, when you start to be bold enough and brave enough to pour it out, you'll be able to receive more. So what God has me doing right now is like, no, you need to pour this out in these Facebook groups, because you can't get any more in this bottle. It's too full. So I have to start pouring out more in order to receive more. So this is what the Facebook groups are going to be, for me to pour out more, to receive more, what he's trying to get to me. So I just followed the other group. It was Nikki. Okay. Got it. I remember now. I'm like, I don't remember the name, but this is what we do. So this is the season that I'm in. Like, God had to, it wasn't that I wasn't out. I was still doing the things, but he's had me in the background a little bit for a little while. But I feel as if God is like, all right, cool, like, let's go. It's time. And I feel like I'm in a season of, like, more people noticing me, more people knowing the ministry, that kind of thing. So get ready. It's a lot going on. We're almost done. I got to get my son at 4:20. Oh, perfect timing, you guys. So yeah, get into the Journey to the Kingdom Facebook group, because I'm doing a teaching tonight. It's more business, and I guess it's business. I'm doing a business teaching tonight at 7 p.m. in the Central Standard Time in the Journey to, I have too many platforms. In the Journey to the Kingdom Facebook group. There's so many of them. One day we'll keep up. So I'll make you guys. Also, so what did he say? You'll be rich and respected as long as you live, and you'll be greater than any other king. If you obey me and follow my commands as your father David did, I'll let you live a long time. And that's the part right there. That's the part people miss. If you obey me and follow my command. And obeying him is doing the things that he tells you to do. Starting the ministry when he tells you to start it. Going live when he tells you to go live. Because a lot of what people are waiting for is connected to the instructions. It's connected to the obedience. It's connected to doing what he told you to do. Let me tell y'all, everything started to flow into my life. The one thing that I did not do was to put content out. The Lord wants me to do short form content as well. Little reels and all the things I post on Instagram. Everything flowed from that. That was the one thing I didn't do. He started to tell me, you are a social media influencer. I need you to make reels. Did I do it? No. Was I looking around wondering why things weren't flowing? Yes. It was because I had one more thing I needed to do. What was the last thing God told you to do? That's what I heard. What was the last thing God told you to do? Have you done it? Let me know in the comments. Oh, you'll have to click the link. You should be able to it should be a link here. I'll drop it again. Just click the link, and just, if you look on Linktree, you'll be able to go down and join the groups. They're right there. So what was the last thing God told you to do? And the question is, have you done it? And that's this part right here where, again, we see what happened with Solomon. He went from, I don't know what to do. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. I want to lead your people. He opened his mouth. He asked the Lord for wisdom, and God gave him so much more. And then he told him just to follow me. Just do what I told you to do. I see lives and reels in my book. So a lot of people, I don't think sometimes we understand when God begins to tell us to do lives and reels and all of these things, that number one is training and preparation. Number one is training and preparation. Because more than likely, the big vision is that maybe you're going to be on a stage. Maybe you're going to be an influencer. Maybe you're going to be a teacher. Maybe you're going to be a prophetic. Maybe you're an apostle. You don't even know it yet. But God tells you to do one instruction. He says, go do a reel. Go do a live. Now, I mentioned this the other day where someone said in one of my, in some content, I think it was the vision board party, she said, my main vision from God is that I want to do a TED Talk. But if if the big vision and the thing that you see yourself doing is a TED Talk, then don't you think that things like this is what's going to prepare you to do the TED Talk? So sometimes we think we think where we are now, when God is like, I'm preparing you for further down the line. And I'm going to put this out there right now because I think it goes with next week's word, but we are entering into 7 years of plenty for a lot of people. Many people are about to enter into 7 years of plenty. And so when you're postponing, read the word, what does it say? When you have not obeyed and followed his commands, how you get to the place where it's flowing? How you get to the place where you're like, I'm in this season of 7 years of plenty? Think about Joseph. They had so much. 7 years of plenty before 7 years of famine. And this whole word is tied into, he knew how to steward it. He knew how to steward it well so that when the famine came, they were prepared. Just finished 7 of famine and lack. Look, I'm telling you, like, we are entering into 7 years of plenty. I remember I heard the Lord say the next 10 years, he says, if you follow my commands and you do, and this was in 2020, when the pandemic hit. Ooh, look at that. When the pandemic hit, he said, if you follow my commands and you do what I'm leading you to do, I'm preparing you within these next 10 years, from 2020 to 2030. We are in 2023 right now. And I remember when I was afraid to start the ministry in 2020, he said, if you follow my command, just like he told Solomon, oh my goodness, if you obey me and follow my commands. That's crazy. I remember him telling me that if you follow my commands, I'm setting you up for the next 10 years. I just need you to work and do what you need to do between 2020 and 2030, and you're going to be set up. You're going to be so good. You're going to be prepared. You're going to be ready. But we don't do the lies. We don't follow the instructions. You guys, everything you're waiting for is connected to that last thing he told you to do. Let's see. Lives and reels in my book. Now, and I think that sometimes, even when it comes to a book, people need to know you. You can sell a book, but it's like you're like a personality. The lives and the reels brings you the audience that you're selling it to as well. So I think that sometimes that's connected. Is the audience that you are selling a book to. Especially if you mention, Vanessa, lines and reels in a book, he's probably trying to build an audience of people who are called to you, and that book is connected to that audience. It's finally charged for my 8-week program. Okay, look, you never know, and that's the thing, you guys. Like, I think that sometimes people get wrapped up when we do it with God. If God called you to business, then that's business. Ministry and business is two different things. This is ministry. Like, I'm out, and business can be a ministry, but this is me in my ministry mode. But I also have a business. And the business is business. But ministry is ministry. And I hear that for you, Lucretia. Like, business is business. So you can go in, and we have the platforms, and this is for whoever needs to hear it. I feel like sometimes, and I can feel that some people may feel a way about charging, or there's something that God may have you do, like a business side of things, but the seeds that you plant are helping people. Your reels, your lives, your teachings, your posts, like all these other things that God has you do, that's seed. You're helping people. You're serving people. So if God tells you to charge, if he gives you a business idea, if he asks you to do something, it's okay. So charge for your program. If he told you to charge for it, do it, because your wealth is probably connected to it. Everything you wait for is connected to it. And if that's the last thing he told you to do, it's a balance of getting out there, and you have to put yourself out there. You got to put yourself out there. You got to say, people don't know what you provide and what God has given you to help people with unless you talk about it, unless you bring it up. You guys hear me talk about the membership program all the time because I know it helps a lot of people, but people don't know unless you bring it up. So that was the last thing for you. Put it out there. It's time, y'all. Like, it's time to stop being afraid. It's time to stop being scared. It's time to stop being in the shadows. It's time to stop being in the background. Like, arise, shine. Arise, shine. Like, this is where we are right now. God wants us to shine our lights. Not to dim our lights. Not to be in the background. I always say the enemy's camp, they out there. They don't have a light, but they're shining their light. They out there. And we need to be out there. We need to be showing people what God has done in our life, talking about what he's done in our life, whatever he gives us. Like, it's time to be out there. I created the coaching program and Don't Do Lives, a certified life coach. I've been just stuck on ministry. Yeah, so for some people, ministry, the business flows. Like, for me, my business flows through my ministry. So you see Journey to the Kingdom, but my business flows through it. And so for a lot of people, you just have to ask him, like, the makeup of what you're building with him. For me, because my door is my ministry, you see Journey to the Kingdom, but there's a lot of different streams and that's behind it. So when it comes to ministry, yes, you may have a ministry, but I don't even know why we're here, but you may have a ministry, but you may have streams that's connected. So if you have ministry, then you may have a stream of life coach where you have your coaching calls and these things that's connected to the ministry, but that is still, you still have a ministry and business at the same time. So start to ask him about the streams. Because even in the word, it says, well, we should have 7 or 8 streams because you never know what will come. Start to ask him the streams that's connected to the ministry. Typically, the business and all of those things are the streams and the business side of the ministry. It can get a little confusing with ministry and business. So that's why you want to go back and ask him for, what do you need? You need knowledge on how to separate ministry and business. You need wisdom on how to step into where he's leading you. Like going back to these things that we talked about. Wisdom, insight, knowledge, favor, power, influence, authority, and also increasing your gifts. So if you guys want to go back, you can go back and just take notes on the areas. And he kind of had me break it down. No problem, Vanessa. So this is where we are right now, you guys. Like we need to, just like with Solomon, he didn't just ask for wealth. He didn't just ask for the wealth transfer. He asked for wisdom. And this is what the Lord is saying right now, that these are the type of prayers we should pray. Because just like with Solomon, he went asking for one thing, and everything that he needed and didn't even need or want flowed from him. Just praying about that one thing and asking Lord for that. Trying to think if that's it. I feel good. I feel like that's everything. I gotta get Gabriel in the next 15 minutes anyway. So let me check my notes. I don't have any notes. This is really just all I said. Okay. So the goal is every Wednesday at 2-ish, around that time. That's the goal. Thanks for sharing. God bless. No problem, Yvonne. So yeah, I just want to hop on you guys and give this word today. Next week, like I said, preparation before acceleration is next week's word. Click the link there. I'm dropping it again because I know that he needs me. I need to pour this stuff out, and it's in me, and I pour out a little bit, but it needs to come out more because I know he wants to give me deeper revelation. I saw myself in like a freezer with like, I don't know, it was a freezer that it meant like more revelation or something. I can't remember, but that's what's going to happen in these groups. So I'm excited for that. No problem, Lucrece. What do we need to pray together on? Well, you probably want to go back just to write it down, but wisdom, insight, knowledge, favor, power, influence, authority, and increase in your gifts. That's a strategic prayer. All right, so Father God, we come to you today, Lord. I keep hearing wisdom. I pray wisdom over everyone here that watches this right now on Facebook and who watches it on YouTube. I pray that you begin, everything that we talked about today, I pray that you begin to download it to them, that they begin to get answers to where they feel stuck, that they begin to have answers to their prayers, that they begin to shift and adjust their prayers, to begin to pray with you, that you begin to give them ideas and you begin to speak to them and tell them what is it that you want to do in their lives right now. Not just where they get into a place where they're stuck and all they can pray about is where they are. That you begin to highlight and show them what you want to do in their lives. That it begins to unlock something in them as they begin to pray what you want to do in their life. I just keep feeling like this, where people are like, your prayers are like here, like limited. Like you're praying in where you are right now, and God is like, just come to me and ask me, what does he want to do right now? Like it's like shifting lifting your head up and lifting it up to him, not to where you're just looking like 2 feet away from you and just at your situation, but even looking up to him and saying, Lord, where am I? What season am I in? What do you want to do in my life? And what is it that you want me to pray with you? What do you want me to partner in prayer with you on? That's it. What do you want me to partner in prayer with you so that we can see this begin to flow into my life? It's in that, like, partner with God in prayer so that you can pray strategically to bring heaven to earth. There's some things that's tied up, wrapped up in heaven, and you've been waiting on it. But God is like, there's some things that I need you to pray. You know, I'm even hearing courts of heaven. It's like, there's so much to prayer. And so much to prayer. But I truly believe that when I started to partner with him, that's when things started to shift and change, at least for me. So Lord, I pray right now that you begin to show your people what it is that you want them to pray with you in this hour. Not even in the season, in this hour. I literally see God like, it's like he's coming and he's holding your hand. And it's like he has this piece of paper and he's holding it up like this. Like, focus on this. Let's pray for this. Lord, if you could show me right now I see pray for peace. Like, I'm looking at the paper right now. There's somebody here, like, this, that you feel worried and you feel nervous and everything, but like partnering with him is like praying for peace and allowing him to show you what that looks like. I see stability. Somebody needs like a stability as well, like, because maybe you just been in the place, or maybe you had a muzzle, you haven't been able to open your mouth and talk, but I'm seeing stability for somebody. I see like somebody needs to pray to remove some people. It's like an X, like removal of people from your life, or maybe letting go of some people. Like, Lord, can you put a brick wall up, or can you help me let go of this person who I know is not supposed to be in my life? I see people being removed. Somebody wants a baby. Somebody needs to pray for, like, I even see like a baby, like a baby, or praying for a baby or something like that. All right, Lord. Anything else? All right. So that's all I see. So you guys, we'll be back next week, next Wednesday. Acceleration word. Let me see if I miss anything. I need to pray, partner with. Man. All right, guys. I gotta go get Gabriel. So we'll be back next week. And if you, I don't know if you guys click the link, you can follow us on Clubhouse. We do Clubhouse word on Fridays, so you can also see us over there on Clubhouse as well. All right. So let me go get my son. Have a great day.